Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. Our presentation will begin shortly.
Hello everyone, this is Rick, and today we're going to take part in the 10 years ago tag that I saw on Shady Penguin's channel. So Shady Penguin, if you guys don't know him, go check him out. I'll put a link down below to his channel. He is a great YouTuber out there. He has 500,000 subs already. He's amazing. He's one of the reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing now. I found him through him and Nabbage Soul Link, who I found through Game Boy Luke, who was the original YouTuber I really started following on YouTube, which kind of got me into wanting to be gaming YouTube videos. So, anyways, I found he built this video a couple days ago, reflecting on how he's changed over the last 10 years, and so he called it the 10 years ago tag. So he basically, what he was saying was where he was at 10 years ago, what his goals were at that time, how his goals have changed over time, and kind of where he's at now comparably. And so I'm going to do the same thing. So basically 10 years ago, so that would be 2008. So for me, back in 2008, at this case, so 2008, at this time of year, what was I doing? Spring. Okay, so fall of 2008 is actually when I started going to SciAst, which is a local technical college. I started my program in food and nutrition management, going for my diploma there. So that's where I was then. At the time, I had just gone through the previous semester. In this previous spring, I had failed out of university. And so at the time, my goals at the time were just to see what's out there. You know, I didn't really have any set goals at the time. What was I doing? So 2008, I was still living with my parents at the time. I had no immediate plans of moving out. It would have been about 2 or 3 months from now, 10 years ago, my friends came up to me and asked me to move out with them, move out of my parents' house and live with them, rent a place with them. So that was good. That was a thing that's coming up pretty soon. What else was happening then? Let's see. I guess, like I said, my goal, I was already working at the warehouse at my current employer. Working at the warehouse at the time. I'd been there for about a little over a year now at this point. Just working part-time there. At the time, that job was just a temporary job. I had no intentions of keeping it for the 11 years I've been there for. It was just a job to get me through schooling. You know, I started my schooling at SciAst. And the goal at the time was to use that diploma to bring me back to the university, because they only had to be away for 3 years. So my plan was to use that diploma, go back to university, and get a nutrition degree at the time. That didn't pan out too well. Actually, 2008 was also the first year that I actually started to work out and try to get healthy. So what it was I remember, that year was actually pretty interesting because in February 2008, I had injured my knee. I got a grade 2 sprain of the MCL on my right knee. I'll never forget what the injury was. It's just kind of ingrained in my brain now. But I remember I got that injury. I was off work for 8 weeks and on crutches for 8 weeks and a brace and everything as well. Still went to university, obviously. Still went to my classes. Because I was still in university at that time, and then I, flunked out. But that's a different story. Surprisingly, I kept my job because I was still on probation at that time, doing 8 weeks. But I guess I didn't injure my leg on duty, so maybe that's why they're like, whatever, you want something else. I don't know what they were thinking. Whatever. It worked out in the end for me in that sense. With all that happened, and the university kind of saying that I can come back in 3 years, so they were allowing me to come back in the fall of 2011 was the goal. So I was like, okay, I have 3 years. I want to get in better shape. I want to eat healthy. I want to start working out and get in better shape because I was on the wrestling team. That's actually how I injured my knee. I injured my knee while at a wrestling tournament. I was in a match. Someone went to take me down and something popped. Something popped my knee and it didn't feel good. And yeah, that kind of took me out of the season, which is fine. I wasn't doing that well anyways. I only won maybe 1 or 2 matches the entire season, so it was okay. But I decided, okay, I want to get in better shape, lose some weight, drop down a weight class. and in the 3 years. And so I set myself some goals. And so at the time I was about 210 pounds. I was 210 pounds, extra large shirts, and size 36 jeans. So I set myself a goal. I was like, okay, I got 3 years. I want to lose 30 pounds, down to 180 pounds. I want it down to medium shirts. I want to get down to 32 jeans. I think those were my goals. And over the next 15 months after that, I got down to 170 pounds, medium shirts, and size 28 jeans. So my goals were a little small than I thought. I didn't expect to lose as much as I did at the time. If you guys have been watching my videos recently, you can probably tell just generically how I look now. I'm not at that level right now. I'm back up to like 250 pounds, back extra large shirts. I'm size 36, 38 jeans, depending on the style. But it kind of, I had really good, if you guys watch my channel, you guys watch my old fitness videos, you guys know, I did really well at my fitness for a couple of years there. It went really well, got down to really good shape, and I would like to get back there. I just got to find the motivation, I guess. I got to find the right motivation, right determination to do it. At the time I had my friends that I was living with, and it went really well with them, working out with them. Again, you guys can watch the whole thing on YouTube here. It's all documented. All my workouts pretty much all documented on here, all the challenges I did. You guys can see the stuff I did with them. Had a great time working out with them, doing all that stuff. So I don't know what motivation I kind of need now. If I need to find another partner like that, need to find another roommate to help work out with me, what I need, I got to try to figure that out. But that's kind of, it's kind of on the back burner. It's been on the back burner the last couple of years, been focusing on other stuff. In the last 10 years, what have I done? I finished my diploma at SciAst, so I got a diploma in food nutrition management. Just recently, I got a certificate in business administration at the university as well. I bought a house. That's a good achievement. I guess technically in the last 10 years, I've moved down to my parents' place. 2008, I was still living with my parents, but I started to lose weight. And so I was using the Wii Fit. The Wii Fit had just come out that year in May 2008. For some reason, the date stuck in my head of May 27, 2008. I'm pretty sure that's the date it came out. I got the Wii Fit the day it came out, and I started using it. And for 2.5 months, I used it every single day except for 2 days I missed, and I can't remember, there was reasons for it, but there was 2 days I missed. I remember that summer I did an hour and a half, an hour of game time, right? So the clock you would play a game for like 2 minutes, it'd track 2 minutes of game time, and then be like 2 minutes of load screens on either end, in between. So yeah, I'd play an hour of actual in-game time. So that'd be like an hour and a half, 2 hours outside of real time. And that went really well. On that summer, I said I started about 210. I got down to 193. And then started going to SciAst, like I said. And I started doing some fitness classes there. Even though I was doing those classes, I was also in a food program. And so because of that, I actually gained all my weight back the following year. And got back out to about 210-ish. Just under 210 actually it was. Moved out of my parents' place that summer, moved in with some friends. We started working out together. All three of us decided to lose weight, work out together. And, 15 months later, like I said, I dropped like 40 pounds in 15 months, dropped a couple pant sizes, got in amazing shape. And then stuff kind of happened, things changed, my motivation kind of went away, I guess. Not exactly wow, what happened. In terms of mindset, from then to now, again, I didn't really have any responsibilities at the time. I was going to school. I was still with my parents though. Okay, so I was only paying like $200 a month for rent. I didn't even have a car. I actually just got my license in the September of 2008. I was 20 years old when I got my license, when I first got my license. But at this time, I was just getting a car. I think I just got my car around this time 10 years ago. I got my first car, which was a Ford Focus. And so I was, at the time, like, I didn't have much at home. I was just starting to get responsibilities, I guess you could say. It was interesting. It's interesting to think about that. So mindset wise, like I was just starting to get responsibilities. Whereas now I have a house to take care of, I have a full-time job, and now I do YouTube and that, and I don't have a roommate at the moment, but I have had roommates for the last few years. Just recently started not having roommates for a bit, just kind of see what happens without roommates. Mindset wise, I'm doing good in some areas and not so good in other areas comparably to 10 years ago. Like financially speaking, I'm doing absolutely better, like 1,000 times better. At the time, like I said, I was working part-time, making, decent money for how much I was working and what I was doing. So financially speaking, I'm doing really well right now compared to what I was doing 10 years ago. I have a very steady job. At the time, I didn't know what my job was. I had my job at the warehouse, but it was temporary to me. I didn't expect to stay there at all. The plan was to do it while I'm in school. As soon as I'm in school, find something else, right? That turned into what I'm doing now. So I have a nice stable job now. I have a house, which before I was paying rent. Well, yes, I said 10 years ago now I was paying $200 a month for rent. It wasn't much. But then I started paying rent, and that money really doesn't go anywhere for me, right? Like if you're just paying rent, it doesn't really go anywhere, right? Whereas if you're paying mortgage, your money actually goes somewhere for you. Whenever you sell the house, I remember I had a plan. I think it was just about 6 years ago. I think it'd be 6 years ago this coming February or March or something. I set myself a 5-year plan to save up. I had a plan to save up, what was it, 10 grand or something like that in 5 years from that time, and to put down a mortgage, and then luck came my way, and it allowed me to buy the house without having to wait 5 years to get that down payment. So financially speaking, like I said, I'm doing amazing. Mentally speaking, on the other hand, it's kind of toss and turn on that. Like I said, I was stressing out at the time about school, trying to get my classes done, worrying about that type of stuff. I guess that's all I want to talk about today. This is just about reflecting back about 10 years ago, how you were then, how I am now. Just a little insight of where I was 10 years ago, where I am now. Thank you, Shady, for putting this concept out there, making the video about it. It was great watching your video. Hopefully that you get a lot of submissions. I know you wanted people to respond to you and wanted to listen to them all. I do hope that you start doing more vlogging like you said you want to do. You want to do some more just sit down and talk to the camera type of things. I actually do enjoy listening to those, watching those videos. More listening to them, I guess, because I don't really watch the watch. Sometimes, honestly, like I think you've said in one of your videos before, just have it on the background and I do something else. Sometimes I'll sit there and play a Game Boy game, or I'll do looking up Facebook or looking up other stuff online and doing some research or whatever, and watching listening to your videos. So anyways, that's all I'm going to talk about today. Hope you guys had a fantastic day, and don't forget, always be awesome.